Do you want to feel awake and full of energy in just 5 minutes? Today I'm sharing my secret ritual that transforms my mornings and can change yours too. Hello, I'm Dr. Emma, and in this video I'm going to guide you through a quick and simple routine that combines stretching and deep breathing to activate your body and mind from the very start of the day. You don't need special equipment or a lot of time, just the desire to feel amazing. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you are watching this video from so I can see how far it has reached. Every morning when I wake up, my body is still a bit stiff and my mind a little groggy. To help both wake up and start the day energized, I dedicate 5 minutes to this ritual that might actually be the key to feeling younger and more motivated. First, we stand up with our feet hip-width apart. We begin with a simple but effective stretch. I take a deep breath in, and as I exhale, I slowly raise my arms overhead, stretching my entire spine. I feel the air filling my lungs and the tension dissolving. This opens not only my muscles, but also my mind. Then I gently bend my torso forward, letting gravity and my breath help me release my back and hamstrings. I repeat this deep breathing, inhaling through the nose and exhaling slowly through the mouth. This is where I start to feel energy awakening, my body and brain waking up in sync. Next, I move on to a side stretch. With my right hand on my hip, I extend my left arm overhead and lean to the right, lengthening every vertebra of my spine. I switch sides and repeat. This simple movement helps improve circulation and reduce stiffness. Finally, to close the ritual, I stand with my palms together in front of my chest, close my eyes, and take 3 deep breaths, focusing on the here and now. This calms the mind and sets a positive intention for the day ahead. The best part? This ritual takes me 5 minutes, but the benefits last all day: clearer thinking, better posture, and an overall sense of well-being. And you can do it wherever you are, whether at home, at the office, or even in a hotel while traveling. If you want me to keep sharing more routines like this, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my tips for a healthy and energized life. Now that you know how to wake up your body and mind in just 5 minutes, what are you waiting for to try it tomorrow? Your perfect morning routine is waiting for you. Every morning, when I open my eyes and still feel that soft fog clinging to my mind, I know that those first minutes will be crucial for the rhythm of my entire day. It doesn't matter if I have slept little or if the stress from the previous day still weighs on my shoulders, because this ritual, although brief, holds immense power. I begin by sitting on the edge of the bed, with my feet firmly planted on the floor. I breathe deeply, inhaling through my nose and letting the air fill my abdomen like a balloon slowly inflating. Then I exhale slowly, feeling all the tension flow out of my body, releasing itself. It is a moment of connection with myself, a small act of self-love before getting going. Then, with my eyes still closed, I move on to a simple but transformative stretch. I extend my arms upward, stretching each finger as if they wanted to reach out and lift me closer to the sky. I feel my muscles waking up, especially around my shoulders and neck, those areas that always bear the weight of daily worries. There is no need for strength or rush. I just let my body slowly find itself, allowing each small movement to unfold a little more of the dormant energy. I feel each joint turning gently, each vertebra moving forward in its natural motion, as if reminding me that although the world moves fast, my body has its own rhythm and deserves to be heard. While my arms remain extended, I inhale again, this time imagining that the energy enters not only my lungs but every cell. As I exhale, I gently lower my arms and lean forward, touching my feet, or at least as close as I can get without forcing. The back stretches, the spine lengthens, and all that tense effort begins to disappear. It is almost a symbolic act, leaning forward, toward the earth, to receive its strength and balance. I take a moment to feel the beat of my heart and the serenity that emerges when body and mind synchronize in this simple gesture of care, a reminder that movement is life. Afterward, I sit up straight again, with my back well aligned but relaxed, and place my hands on my heart. I close my eyes and become aware of the present. Here I am, alive, capable, prepared to face whatever comes. I let my breath be my anchor, inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for another 5, each time deeper, slower, more mindful. It feels as if with every breath I remove layers of fatigue, doubt, and fill myself with light, with renewed energy. I feel my mind clear, the internal noise quiet down a bit, and that allows me, in just 5 minutes, to move from a place of strength and calm rather than rush or tension. With this small ritual, I gift myself not only a few minutes, but the real possibility of facing the day with a different attitude. And don't think this is only for perfect mornings. Even if I get up late or tired, I know this time with myself will be the best start. The best part is that you don't need to be an expert in yoga or have a gym at home. All that's needed is willpower and a conscious moment to turn off autopilot and turn yourself back on. This way, little by little, day after day, I feel that I not only awaken my body, but also that part of me that sometimes gets forgotten in the rush, the part that knows, yes, here and now, it's possible to feel truly alive and full of energy. Because in the end, what matters is not how much we do, but how we start. And this 5-minute ritual has taught me that the key lies in that small act of stopping, breathing, and moving consciously. I invite you to try it, to discover that space of calm and vitality waiting for you upon waking, because your body and mind deserve that gift. And before you know it, those 5 minutes will have transformed not only your mornings, but your way of living every day. As my hands rest on my heart, I feel my chest rise and fall with each breath, like a gentle sway that anchors me to the present moment. There is nothing more than this. My body, my breath, this instant that belongs to me. Little by little, I let calm settle within me, allowing the tension accumulated in my muscles to dissolve, each heartbeat becoming a small reminder that I am alive and that everything I need is here, in this very moment. It's curious how something so simple can be so powerful. We often forget these first gestures, so basic and essential, amidst the daily chaos. But that simple connection with oneself is what makes the difference. When I open my eyes after these 5 minutes, I not only see the world clearly, but I also feel that a space of peace and energy has awakened inside me at the same time. It seems almost contradictory, doesn't it? To feel calm and awake, serene and strong. But this ritual has taught me that not only is it possible, it is the ideal way to start the day. When I raise my hands again, opening my arms slowly, I feel like I am creating an invisible circle around me, a kind of refuge that no one can violate. No matter what happens outside, I know I can return to this space with just a few minutes of stretching and breathing. It is a starting point that strengthens me from within, a promise that I can face the day with more clarity and less stress. And even though it seems like just 5 minutes, those small minutes are an anchor that stabilizes my entire day. This simple act does not only awaken my body, but it also activates my mood. I remember how I used to jump straight out of bed into the routine, letting the rush set the pace. Now, by giving this time to my body, I feel that I grant myself permission to start without pressure or demands. I don't seek perfection or immediate results, just to be present with myself, to breathe, to move, and to feel energy flow. It's almost like cleaning a fogged-up glass so I can see the day clearly and with renewed enthusiasm. Sometimes, after all this, I look in the mirror and see that different sparkle in my eyes, a light that wasn't there before I began the ritual. It's not just physical vitality, but that deep sensation of well-being that expands from within, subtle but real. It reminds me that each day is an opportunity to reconnect with myself, to choose how I want to live and how I want to feel. And if a couple of minutes upon waking give me all that, why not always do it? If you're wondering whether this can work for you, if it might be too simple or too slow for someone with 1,000 things to do, I'll tell you that's where the grace lies. The magic is in the pause, in that small space we create to breathe and move without rush. Because without that breath, we risk living on autopilot, disconnected from ourselves, letting life slip away while we only react. But when you choose to stop, even if just for 5 minutes, you give your body and mind a powerful signal. I am here. I am ready. So I invite you to try this tomorrow or even today, if only a second before throwing yourself into the day. Find a place that's comfortable for you. Feel each inhalation, each stretch, Allow yourself that small act of care that changes everything. Nothing more is needed than your intention and a little patience with yourself. And before you know it, those 5 minutes will have become the best gift you give yourself every day, a seed of well-being that will grow little by little and transform not only your mornings, but your way of truly living every moment. Because there is a much deeper awakening than simply opening your eyes, and that awakening starts here, now, with a breath and a stretch. Are you willing to discover it? Now, unhurried, I let my arms stretch upwards, as if wanting to touch the sky. That slow and conscious extension that awakens every sleeping muscle, every fiber we sometimes forget is part of us. I feel the slight pull at my sides, that stretch that frees, that invites flexibility not only of the body, but also of the mind. I allow myself that space, that gentle movement that does not judge, does not demand, just accompanies. And as my hands rise, I remember the purpose, to activate my energy without disturbing it, to move without tensing it, to prepare without forcing myself. As I slowly lower my arms, I let the flow of my breath deepen. I inhale calmly, filling my abdomen as if wanting to give life to every cell, and as I exhale, I release any trace of fatigue or worry that may remain. It's not always about filling the day with 1,000 things. Sometimes it's enough to give that simple act of attention to our body so everything flows better, so the eyes see more clearly and the mind works with more clarity. 5 minutes, but with real presence here and now, are capable of completely transforming my experience. Then, with my feet firmly on the ground, I place my palms down and perform a small rocking of my body forward and backward, like a slow wave traveling down the spine. It is such a simple gesture, almost forgotten, but vital to me. It's like awakening that structure that supports everything and that we often neglect. I feel every vertebra, every muscle of my back come to life again, and that connection gives me security. A strong and awake body is a body that supports not only physical burdens, but also emotional ones, capable of maintaining calm in the midst of any storm. I take a moment to gently turn my neck to one side and then the other, careful not to force anything, just moving within that small range that helps release stiffness accumulated during sleep or the night. It's as if I were telling my head, here we go, ready to receive whatever comes. And I feel the tension leave that space, yielded to the present I am building with each gesture, with each slow breath. The energy begins to flow, light and steady, with that fresh sensation we sometimes only know when going for a walk after a storm. Finally, I place my hands on my chest again, as at the beginning, aware of the heartbeat that reminds me who I am in this life, who I am in this very moment. But now it's different. There is a glow I clearly see, a new spark arising not only from movement or breath, but from the silence I chose for myself, from that small and powerful decision to pause and take care. I feel ready for the day not because I have done something extraordinary, but because I have done something simple, human, and true, being present with myself. And then, just before fully opening my eyes and surrendering to the coming day, I let that calm and strength I have just awakened merge into a single feeling. A delicate mixture of peace and energy that I don't need to seek outside because it is right here inside me. That is the gift I give myself each morning and the promise I make each time I stop to breathe, to stretch, to feel. Something very simple, yet transformative, that tells me that living each day can be much more than merely passing through it. Perhaps you wonder what would happen if you give that space 5 minutes of your time. Perhaps you think you don't have time, or that you won't notice a difference. I tell you that this small act can be the beginning of a new way of being in the world, an invitation to discover that awakening is not just opening your eyes, but opening yourself. And when you least expect it, those 5 minutes will become your refuge, your silent anchor, the secret to feeling truly alive every morning. Will you dare to try it? Because sometimes, the deepest awakening lies in the simplest thing, in that first breath you decide to give yourself. With my hands still on my chest, I feel how the slow rhythm of my breathing connects me to something deeper. A pulse that is not only physical, but also emotional, almost like a whisper reminding me that I am here, that I have chosen this moment for myself. I give myself permission to stay in that sensation, to not rush the next step, to simply feel the heartbeat with awareness and acceptance. Because within that beat lies much of what we are: movement, life, possibility. Little by little, I release my hands from my chest and let them rest at my sides, gently opening my fingers as if they too were waking up, as if every fiber, every cell, were preparing for the day ahead, but without hurry, without anxiety, with a kind and steady rhythm. My breathing remains calm, deep, a firm anchor that keeps me present, even when the mind drifts toward distractions, worries, or that faint noise of things to do. And there is the wonder. My body anchors me again, inviting me to return to this small refuge of calm I have built in just 5 minutes. I lean forward slightly, touching the floor with the tips of my fingers, without forcing, respecting the limits my body shows me today, taking that humble, simple gesture as a form of greeting, of acknowledgement toward myself. I feel my chest expanding and contracting, the heartbeat spreading to my limbs, to the thoughts that begin to quiet down, to organize. No matter how many times I've tried to rush my mornings or overwhelm myself with countless tasks, this small ritual is my true awakening, one that doesn't come from coffee or external noise, but from slowing down and listening, right here and now. Once again, I raise my arms, but this time with a different intention. It is not just a stretch, but a gesture of welcome, a signal I give to the day and to myself that I am ready to receive, to open without fear to whatever may come. And when I lower my arms, I do so feeling a new lightness, a space gained in body and mind, as if I have left behind not just stiffness, but also layers of fatigue, doubts, or fears that sometimes I'm not even aware I carry. It's curious how something so simple can have that effect, the miracle of pure attention, transforming the everyday experience into something meaningful. It is at that moment when, before moving into the day, I find myself thinking that this little gift of 5 minutes is, in fact, an act of quiet courage. Because stopping when the world pushes us to go fast, when the to-do list pushes us not to look inward, is a revolutionary act. And yet, it is in that pause that I find my truest strength, that calm energy that does not exhaust, but sustains. I realize that I don't need grand rituals or long hours to feel awake. With just this simple, repeated gesture, I give myself the chance to be truly alive, aware, and present. You might think that losing 5 minutes every morning is too much, that the day doesn't allow for more, that urgency crushes calm. But I invite you to try something different. To gift yourself the silence that comes with conscious breathing, the slow movement that awakens without harm, the kind presence that nests in the simplest moment. Because when you decide to give yourself that space, something changes. It's not magic, it's not something others can see, but you know it. There is a secret code in those minutes, a silent pact with yourself that opens doors, that lights paths, that redefines the way you meet the world. I don't know what will happen tomorrow or the day after or in a week. But I know that every time I repeat this ritual, I will be closer to that version of myself that is not caught by fleeting tiredness or external demands. I will be closer to that me who knows that awakening is not just opening the eyes, but recognizing myself, accepting myself, being willing to live with intensity and calm, with strength and gentleness, with presence and freedom. And if you are listening to this, I leave you that open invitation, that small but powerful space where you can reconnect with yourself every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Because sometimes, the deepest awakening is right there, in those silences we choose, in those gestures we make only for ourselves, in that first breath that is much more than air. It is the promise of being alive, truly alive, without masks or rush. Just us in contact with the life that calls us, that waits for us, that reveals itself. Are you willing to discover it?